Good morning. It's funny. I was just having a conversation, and it's funny how we spend so much time trying to control how people think about us by the way we want to dress and the image we provide. We provide. Learning to talk straight would be useful. But the fact is, we have so little control over anybody else, unless they choose to give us their undivided control, their undivided attention, which doesn't really happen. And the thing is that when you actually want to influence people, if you're in a place of disconnection, a place of lack, a place of fear, you actually draw out of them the negative energies if you're strong enough in that place and they're not strong enough in their place of positive energy, that will reflect back to you exactly how you're feeling about yourself. But if you're in a place of alignment, a place of feeling good about yourself and that self-confidence and belief that whatever you do is right for you, and it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you, positive or negative, because you know your own self-worth and self-value, then when you can go about life in this world that way, you actually bring out the best in people and you influence them to come and meet you on a higher vibration, and the ones that don't disappear quite quickly. So the funny thing is that by not trying to influence anybody else and only influencing ourselves, we become powerful enough to be able to influence everybody else. So the anxiety that sometimes we feel, or sometimes the fear or the worry or whatever you may use about your appearance or whatever, and people judging you, well, if you could find a way of building your confidence and not caring what people would feel, then they'd actually feel better about you. Because through osmosis and being around people, we share energies and we pull energy out of people. As you've seen when you're in a group of friends and a new person joins that group, well, that new person may be a friend that you've had for years, or an office work friend or whatever, but where you've got some history with them maybe, and they come in and they're normally an upbeat person or they're normally a depressed person, and you'll notice the energy of your group or the couple of you that are there, or your energy will just shift to kind of meet them at their place if they're quite a dominant character in whatever vibration they're normally in. And then when they leave, your energy will shift back, maybe not quite to where it was, but quite close. And you can have that a number of times. So if you have someone who's really normally positive, life and soul of the party, then you see them come along and you're like, oh yeah, great, it's you. Wow, haven't seen you in whatever. How's your day going? Da 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 da. Or you get someone who's normally depressed and miserable, like, oh, how's it going? How's that thing going with your family member or your whatever, your other half? And so people adjust to us. And so the real work that you have is on learning to love yourself and be positive about yourself and not care what other people think, which is really sometimes difficult in a world where we've been conditioned to social media likes being of any value, and your mum and dad with the best interests in the world, best will in the world, wanting you to go out looking a little bit smart and a little bit tidy, because the truth is they felt they were being judged. If they sent you to school all scruffy and whatever, then they'd get judged as not being a great parent. So you've got all this kind of everybody outside is telling you how good or bad you are, yet the truth is we're all just winging it. We're all just going along with our own set of ideas, ideals and beliefs that we've created through experiences in our lives, through meaning we've given to things, and that's been by the emotions we're in at the time they've happened, and family and friendships and people, teachers telling us what's right and what's wrong. And that's coming from a place of their own lack of alignment. See, the thing is, we don't judge anybody from a place of alignment. You just don't do it. You just love. You just, yeah, cool. Or admiration and appreciation. It's not judgment. Judgment comes from a place of lack and disconnection. We don't judge people from a place of pure unconditional love and pure alignment. We judge people from a place of disconnection, from a place of not feeling our best in that moment, and then to try and feel better, we're trying to put somebody else down in that moment, which actually just supports us being in that lower place. And it's funny, this is why you get so many so-called trolls and stuff on the internet, people who don't feel good about themselves, and don't know how to feel better about themselves deliberately. So they go to blaming and judging and insulting other people to put them down, to make themselves feel better. And that just comes from lack of knowledge about emotions and the emotional scale and guidance and how it all works. This is stuff you can find out, stuff you can learn, and stuff I'll share with you. My original point for this conversation was to let you know that you do have an influence on other people, except when you're really trying to influence them, potentially from a place, well, actually no, except when you're really trying to influence them, but from a place of disconnection, because you have very little power there, except to attract a mirror of whatever vibration you're in. So if you're in a disconnected, low, negative mood, then you trying to influence others, they're just going to pick up on your mood. If you're in a high, positive place, because it starts in you and is reflected back to you. So if you're in that high, positive place, then you will influence others from a place of positive. Universe will line you up with the people who are positive around you, and the ones who are not will generally move away because they don't match your vibration. Well, unless you live with them. But even then, you all know when someone's in a bad mood and you're not in a bad mood. In fact, you're the complete opposite and you're in a great mood. That pisses them off even more. And the truth of that is because they know inherently that's their natural state, and they're feeling pain not being in that natural state that you're in. And so therefore that makes them even more angry and disconnected. But anger's a positive step up the emotional scale from a place of being powerless. Because in anger you're taking back your power. But anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. The focused point I was trying to make was that if you want to influence people, get connected. Learn to love yourself, learn to appreciate yourself. And it will come and go. That's okay. Don't be hard on yourself. Don't beat yourself up over it. There's no need to. The confidence will build the more you can focus on caring how you feel enough to want to feel good. And the more you feel good, the more you'll attract people around you who feel good. And the more influence you'll have of people around you from a positive vibration where people will want to meet you in a positive place. If you're disconnected and worrying about how people are going to judge you, well, already you've gone into a out of alignment state because you're worrying how people are going to judge you, and you have no control over that. If they judge you, it's because they're not in alignment. If they judge you, it's because they are not in a place of pure unconditional love. So their judgment is going to be less than pure love. And you have no control over that. Unless you're aligned. And they're aligned. If they're not in a place of alignment or even close to it, then you can soothe them. You can use different tools of sharing appreciation and love with them that might help soothe them. Although you might notice the more positive you're being, the more negative they'll get. And you can diffuse that by accepting, okay, it's okay to feel the way they feel. And they are where they are. And they've got the power of focus. And they can choose to focus in a positive way. Or they can choose to focus in a negative way. But in that moment, they're being held in a place. So if they can reach for a little bit better feeling thoughts, that bring them close to a place of feeling anything better, then move through that thought process step by step. But either way, if it's just someone you're worrying about on the street that's judging you, well, none of your business. And it doesn't matter, because it's not going to hurt you unless you decide to be hurt by it and you create pain in yourself. If you're in a place of complete alignment, complete happiness, someone could walk past you, hating you for the fact you're smiling, and does that hurt you? No. It hurts them because they're in that place of not alignment. They're in that place of disconnection. And if someone wants to take the piss out of you for the way you look or the way you behave, well, that's because they're insecure. Because they'd like to be able to feel or behave in that freer way that you are. Or they're jealous. And all those are negative emotions that are not in a place of alignment, which means they're in pain. And if they're in pain, they're just trying to make themselves feel better, and unfortunately they're using that moment to project on you. However, you've attracted that through your own insecurity about it. Often in life, you'll notice people reflect back to you what you feel about yourself. So, with that note, practice feeling good about yourself. Practice appreciating yourself, and every day, as much as you can, find things to like about yourself. Find moments to praise yourself and appreciate yourself and love yourself. Find moments to care about how you feel and stop worrying about anybody else. Because everybody's too fickle to give you 24-hour-a-day attention. And the only time you can get people to give you anywhere near that much attention, they're not going to be in a place of appreciation unless they chose to fall in love with you. And even then, their mind's still going to wander onto other things, like what they're going to eat and what they're going to wear and where they're going that day and the things they're doing. You can fulfill a big part of their mind space if they're totally in appreciation and love with you. Or if they're totally stressed out by you. But the truth is, none of that actually matters, because they have no power to influence you positive or negative unless you're in that place to feel and receive it and you choose to. You're amazing and you're wonderful, whether you realise that or not. You're a blessing to this planet, and you can be appreciated by yourself and by others because everything you feel comes from the inside, not the outside. People will just reflect back to you, and people will share their moods and their alignment or lack of alignment with you. And so either you can choose to go and meet them in whichever place they're in, Or you can choose to be the one in control of how you feel by controlling how you focus. And the ones that then share well-being, love, and positivity with you, you can appreciate. And the ones that share negativity and abuse and rudeness and just out of alignment stuff, you can appreciate them as well. Because you've been in that place, you understand how they feel. They're in a place of pain right now, and they're trying to do things to make themselves feel better. And you can understand that because we've all been there. And judging them or getting negative about them is just going to pull you out of your place. So learn to love yourself and learn to appreciate that even in their negative energy, they're giving you desires of love and well-being and a better surrounding of people that are going to be nicer to you. So they're giving you new rockets of desire. You know what you don't want, you know what you do want. Anyway, this was just supposed to be a short video about how to influence others. And the way to do that is to influence yourself first. And the others around you will reflect it to you. Anyway, I'm Craig Williamson. I love you and I appreciate you. Thank you very much for your time in watching this. And I hope it's brought you a little bit of help and clarity. There's plenty more where this came from. Do you have your own inner guidance? Your feelings that are positive show you're aligned. Your feelings that are negative show you're just holding a thought that's separating you from the truth of you, your authentic self. They're loving you. So just try and navigate your thoughts in a way that make you feel better. And the better and better you can feel, the more and more aligned you feel. And the better your life will be. Have a wonderful day. And if right now you're not in a place to have a wonderful day, it's okay. It's okay. It can get better from here. You've got momentum going and that's okay. It's alright. It's all alright. And it can work out. It can get better from here. It can also get worse from here. So it's your choice. Which way do you want to go? And if you want to feel better, then do things to soothe yourself. Things that feel good. Whether maybe you need to take a nap. Maybe you need to take 15 minutes just quiet time. Just to try and find something to focus on that's not going to disturb you. And then start steering your thinking in a way that feels good. Like about your favourite flavours of ice cream. Or maybe throwing some ice cream at someone. Whatever works to make you feel better. Have an amazing day. Much love.